Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing City Folk! Today is probably going to be a shorter episode, not because power or anything, but because I'm recording this at the end of about a 4-hour other recording session. I just got done recording a small batch of Fire Emblem that I'm going to need to get working on after I finish this, so I can hopefully have an episode going out tomorrow. It's just going to take a few hours to export, and I know it, because it's about 2.5 hours of footage I'm going to need to edit down, and will probably be about an hour once again, and that takes about 3 hours to export, which is wonderful. But yeah, I have really been enjoying doing that series. I know it's not as well viewed as Animal Crossing here. It's definitely a less popular series. I can understand why, too. I mean, it's a tactics game. Those are not everyone's cup of tea. But I myself have really been enjoying doing it. Okay, I think this present just hasn't shown up yet. Yeah, it's still coming, I think. Either that or I have my headphones on backwards, in which case it's coming from the right instead. I think we just need to wait for it. Yep, there it is. But yeah, I've just recorded up to, I believe we're moving on to chapter 12. And yeah, I forgot how fun that game is. I forgot how fun an actual good Fire Emblem game can be. Let's be honest, that's more what it is. Another brick block. We already have one of those, so we'll just sell that to Nook. I also realized that the Wii is set now an hour ahead of time, because the time change happened not long ago. But the Wii did not change itself. Mostly because daylight savings time is confusing, and I think I ended up telling it that it was daylight savings when it wasn't, and now it's confused. Like, I hate daylight savings. And I know I've mentioned this before, but like, I've known people who have asked farmers, like, do you even care about daylight savings time? And almost always the response is, I work from can see to can't see. I don't care what the clock says. So it's like, okay, well then why do we even still have this? And some responses I'm given is, oh, well it's for farmers who also work day jobs. Well then they're not running a pretty big farm then, are they? Like, they don't need the extra hour then. Or if they do, then they don't need to work the day job. At that point, it just sounds like they're working an extra job to be a little greedy. I know farms aren't all that profitable anymore, mostly because big industry moved in. Big industry had always kind of been there, but now it's more organized and able to actually put the smaller farms out of business. That's just how things work. I mean, as dumb as this is, I can use an example from EVE Online to explain exactly what happens in situations like that. The small-scale EVE industrialists don't really make much profit. They need to do other things to make money. Because the large groups like Goonswarm, Brave Alliance, Test, NC Dot, Northern Coalition, I think, yeah, that is NC Dot. Pandemic Legion, Pandemic Horde, you know, the big boys, all took up major industrial wings and can mass produce things in the run of an hour what would take a smaller scale industrialist a day or so to make. So it kind of put the smaller scale guys out of business. They had to branch into other jobs or quit. Basically, adapt or survive. Adapt or die. Yeah, adapt or survive. That wouldn't know. That's kind of the same idea. But yeah, it's basically a case of adapt or die. If you can't handle, you know, keeping up with the big boys, then, or at the very least, maintain your operations. because of the big boys, then that's time to quit. Either that, or find something else you can do that they're not doing. I mean, a case of, like, local dairy farmers around where I am. We have our own local brands, and they do their advertising as just that, local brands. By buying them, you're supporting the local communities. And another mush bed. Come on, game, I know there's more than mush TVs and mush beds. But, like, that kind of a pitch does make people buy their product, and we really don't have external brands here for things like dairy products. Mostly because they're hard to ship over long distances and keep them fresh. It's not impossible, but you can, you know, it's harder to do it and tends to cost more, thus it's kind of not profitable to even try. And in, like, the case of Eve, a lot of the small-scale industrialists are the ones that play basically what's called the 0.1 game. They sit in trade hubs and just try to continuously beat out everyone else's price by 0.01 ISK, which is the money. That's how you have to do it. If you want to keep being an industrialist, you need 2 accounts, or 2 characters at the very least, that you can run simultaneously, which means 2 accounts. And if you're running alpha accounts, 2 computers. And you have one of them sit in the trade hub, constantly adjusting prices. If you're not doing that, you will fall behind, you will lose profit. And other times, you'll get small industrialists like myself that just build a lot of a product that is underrepresented in a market, and then flood the market with it. And I won't sell all of them, but I'll sell enough of them to make my money back, and then I just need to pull my product from the market, and suddenly it becomes a needed quantity, a needed commodity again. So I can then repeat the process after enough time has passed for the market to right itself. Because when you have about 400% more of the thing just show up on the market suddenly, that kills a market. That drives the price through the floor. I have literally been the cause a few times of the price of specific items across the universe falling, because I've produced so many and thrown them onto the market. It's usually small things. I tend to target drones. Mostly because everyone needs drones. There will always be a demand for drones. A lot of people tend to go with, like, Tech 1 modules, and there just really isn't a demand for those. There almost never will be. Outside of very specific situations, no one even wants a Tech 1 module. They want the Meta 4, which is a, basically an NPC drop item. To briefly explain, Tech 1 and Meta, they're kind of confusing terms. The Tech 1 of anything is effectively Meta 0. It is the weakest possible that thing can be. Usually with middle-of-the-road fitting costs. The Meta 4 will be almost the best that item can be with the lowest fitting costs. So, it's basically a step down from Tech 2. Imagine, just take Tech 1, Tech 2 out of it, and it's Meta 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is the items. It's confusing. Eve is confusing. It's a lot of tabs. It's spreadsheets online. But yeah, I think actually after this I might go back to recording more Fire Emblem. I don't know. I really want to continue more of it. But my throat is starting to get really sore. Let's do a tiny bit of fishing. Because I'm sure there's bound to be new fish around. This fish isn't going to notice this, is it? Oh, maybe. Nope. Darn it! You were looking right at it, fish! We'll catch this fish and then probably end it off. Or not, we'll catch another fish, because my thumb twitched. Oh, there's a fish, I think. Yes, and it turned the other way. This will probably be a horse mackerel. I should just chase this off and find another fish. Because horse mackerels are... Will you stop turning? Jeez! And I missed it. Well then. After all that, I failed to catch the fish. Okay then, let's try to catch this one. 1, 2. Horse mackerel. There it is. I'm tempted just to throw that back. It's not even worth making the trip to Nook's over just it anyway. So, we're just gonna end things off. Because, as I mentioned, my throat is getting really sore, so I need to at least give it a break for a while, and I honestly don't think I'll have time to get back to Animal Crossing tonight. So, I mean, this has been a close to 11, 12-minute episode. That's not terrible. With that, I thank you all very much for watching. I'd like to remind everyone I do have a Patreon, link down below if you wish to throw money at me. If not, that's perfectly fine. I'm just glad you watched the video. And I hope to see you back next time for more Animal Crossing City Folk. See you all then.